Welcome into Pullman, Washington, Bowler Gym. One of the most beautiful facilities in the Pac-12. Washington State and California on this Sunday afternoon. Going to be a fun match. Trevor Williams alongside Walker Brooks. Glad to have all of you with us for Pac-12 volleyball this weekend. And Walker, Washington State and Cal, both looking for a win on the weekend. Both had tough matches on Friday.
No, definitely. Washington State lost a hard 5-set loss to Stanford, and Cal fell to the University of Washington. Washington State really needs this. They need the win for postseason positioning, while Cal, I think they would just emotionally like to get their first Pac-12 win.
You look at the Pac-12 standings right now, Washington State a game off the pace in the conference. Talking to Jen Greeny this weekend, she said her team knows they've got to perform down the stretch. They dug a hole early in the season with the way it started at South Carolina in their tournament play. California, don't let the record fool you. This is a tough team. They've had a lot of injuries this year, and that's really made it hard to get that connection on the floor.
No, I think it also, they've been playing a little bit better now that Lydia Grotti's back for them. She was injured for the majority of the season, but she's back, and she had a really good game against UW.
And she was tough against the Cougars last year as well. Taking a look at what's leading the Washington State attack, the Cougars have really had it coming around. Pia Timmer has gotten it going from the serving line. Jen Greeny also mentioned that she's passing really well. And that's great when you can sprinkle it in with everything else Washington State has.
Oh, yeah, I think Hannah Pukas also has been phenomenal. She's improving on her communication with her hitters and passers. I view her as the quarterback or the point guard for this offense.
And she's been doing a great job of leading the Cougar attack. A little bit of a tough one against Stanford. They had to deal with that size. California, they know about Stanford. They know about tough matches. They played really well against Washington, and they have a young freshman, Annalie Mader, who's been really, really good for the Golden Bears, a player with international experience who's been really calm.
Oh, yeah. I think it helps because she has a lot of international experience playing for Switzerland, so the moment isn't too bright for her, and she's able to play just like it was a club match.
And Bella Bergmark, she's going to be busy this afternoon as well for California, trying to shut down the Washington State attack. Bergmark, as a blocker, has been fantastic for California. You see some of the highs this season for her, matches like Arizona, Oregon State, and Arizona State. When you take a look at the other side for Washington State, Magda Yahalasheva came off a fantastic week.
Oh, man, that was phenomenal.
It was a big week for Washington State, big 2 weeks, really.
Yeah.
4 matches, 3-set sweeps, one of the best stretches in Cougar history, and she's a big reason why.
Oh, yeah, she was, especially against the Ducks when she held them to sub-100 hitting, which was 100 points lower than their previous low against Utah.
Washington State and California. We're getting ready for first serve from Bowler Gym. It's the Cougars, the Golden Bears, up next on Pac-12 Plus. Cougars this time, they have to be focused on the other side, California. Lydia Grote, she was kind of a thorn in the Cougars side last year, but the good news is Washington State has a lot of attackers, a lot of different ways to go, and Katie Ryan, the freshman, has been really impressive.
Oh, no, she stepped up, came right into playing phenomenally as a freshman, which is unusual. You don't see freshmen inserted in the lineup right away. This is a very veteran and senior upperclassman late-in lineup.
I love talking to Jen Greeny yesterday about you just don't always find 6'5" outside hitters from Rathdrum, Idaho, but that was the case for Washington State. California, here's the starting rotation for the Golden Bears. We mentioned Lydia Grote. Bella Bergmark, she needs to have a good match today in front of net, trying to deny the Washington State attack.
I mean, she does a fairly good job. She has 58 assisted total blocks so far this season, so she's a very solid defender for the Cal Golden Bears.
All right, Cal and Washington State, glad you're with us on this Sunday in Pullman, Washington. Both teams looking to cap the weekend with a victory. Cal looking for its first Pac-12 win. Washington State a game off of the pace. Just a game back of the three-way tie for first in the Pac-12, right around the halfway point of this season. It's going to be a fun one coming down the stretch in the Pac-12.
And the Cougars are going on 6 of their remaining 10 games. Will be on the road, so they need as many home wins as possible. And Cal would just like a Pac-12 win.
Yeah, Jen Greeny talked about that. The RPI for the Cougars currently sits in the top 40 at 33. You talk to Jen Greeny, I think you'd think that she feels they're more on the bubble, and that's because of the rough start that Washington State had in non-conference play.
No, that was a tough 4-game tournament in South Carolina for them.
See the Cougar fans in-house, ready to go. Washington State has the serve to start it against Cal this afternoon. Hannah Pukas. Right away, Bella Bergmark is set up for the kill.
It's just a solid, found the opening in the defense and just hit it.
Hitting .404, that's third in the Pac-12 for Bella Bergmark. And Cal opens the scoring this afternoon. Lydia Grote, a sophomore from Burbank, California, will serve for the Golden Bears. Pukas set up Yahalasheva, and Magda Yahalasheva kill right off the bat.
That duo is just phenomenal, and they play off of each other.
Yahalasheva has that heavy swing out of the middle for Washington State. 161 kills on the season to go alongside 95 blocks, which is just under 1.4 a set. And Pia Timmers long on her service. Side out back to California.
Cal's starting very well. They started well against the University of Washington last Friday, so continuing that trend.
You talk about good starts. Washington State, all but one match in Pac-12 play, they've started with an opening set victory. They're trying to keep that going today, and it's the freshman, Katie Ryan, high off the hand, Steven, to score too.
You can see her basketball ability coming in that play right there.
And the basketball ability, Jen Greeny said, is one of the reasons why Katie Ryan fell to Washington State in the recruiting. Maybe didn't play for as many high-level club programs. That lowered her visibility on the recruiting trail, and it worked out well for the Cougars.
Definitely did.
Bergmark, another soft touch, second that we've seen Bergmark float in this opening set. And again, these teams trading points in the first 5 out of the gate.
And Bergmark's definitely playing well. She had a career-high 16 kills last Friday against the University of Washington.
Mentioned that third best hitting percentage in the Pac-12, led the team in the attack percentage last year. Again, Ryan, and again, a nice left-handed swing from the freshman. All even at 3, both these sides trying to put together a pair of points now. Julia Norville will come in to serve for Washington State. Junior out of California. The setup went for Schmidt. Cougars covered it. Tusa going to get to it on the run. Again, back over to Schmidt. Nice pancake by Norville. Tusa flicks it to the back. We continue on. This time it was Ham. Cougars dug it again. Kalia Williams puts it away, and Washington State has its first 2-point run of the match.
It seems whenever Kalia Williams checks into the game, she always comes in with more energy, and then you can see that with an emphatic slam.
Jen Greeny's been really happy with the play of a redshirt junior from Long Beach. First kill for her on the day. Washington State by a point early in the first set. Norville using the side. Desaw was the target on the serve. Schmidt dug out by Basham. Cougar back row attack not there. Tusa second try. That was the freshman center, Mater, who we talked about, who got in the way of the block. Williams, a little bit of a disjointed slide play. A free ball back to the Cougars. Good rally. Pukas dumps it with a left hand.
That was a beautiful left hand. Also, I like Cal's energy. They're really going 100 and I think 10% of this. They're going out of bounds, diving. It's just they really, really want this Pac-12 win.
Analea Mater making a big stop on a Washington State attack, but the Cougars outlasted for the point, now by 2. Norville again picking on Desaw. Schmidt, and that hit the antenna. Washington State has a little 3-0 run going here.
Yeah, I think Pukas is a big reason you saw her playing defense right there, that they're the 5th best offense in the Pac-12.
And Pukas has to get up there and get involved on the block. 34, 2 solo, 32 assists for the redshirt junior from Tacoma. It's a pass to set. Cougars deflect it high. Basham nearly ran into Pukas. It'll reset for California. Grote out of the back. And Grote, a back row attack. She was over that line.
Grote, one of their more consistent players when she's not in, when she comes back from injury.
And the 4-0 run is going to lead Sam Crossan to take his first timeout of the afternoon. Washington State, we traded points the first 6. Cougars have the last 4. They lead at 7-3 in the first set here in Pullman. 7-3, the Washington State lead in the opening set. Glad to have you with us in Pullman today. Trevor Williams alongside Walker Brooks. Sam Crossan using his first timeout of the opening set. He has a 28-44 career record at California. This is his 3rd season. And only 2 years removed from a team that went 20-10 and was right on the edge of the NCAA tournament picture.
No, Sam Crossan is a very good coach to help kind of rebuild this Cal program. He was a phenomenal player at the University of Pacific as well. So player coaches tend to have a different feel for the game. They can give a different perspective. I think he's doing a fantastic job so far for the Bears.
And this year he's been dealt kind of a rough hand. A lot of injuries. That's led to a ton of different lineups. Some of that continuity missing for California, and the Cougar 5-0 run comes to an end on a service error.
I think the lot of different lineups allows them also to just see how other players play well together, potentially develop new rotations. I think there's a bright spot in every. With the injuries, yes, you want your good players in there, but it also helps you get more players' experience playing an actual in-game competition.
That's certainly been no shortage of experience this year for California. Grote going high over the block. Timmer had it out of the back. Williams blocked away. That was Ham teaming up with Schmidt for the block for California. Good showing there for the Bears.
Now Ham's phenomenal defensively. She has 49 blocks, 40 assisted, and 9 solo, but she does need to hit a little bit better, so only hitting 178.
Has started all 21 for California. Tusa with the kill off of Merkovich and earns it back for Washington State.
Merkovich has been very consistent throughout their entire Cal career. She has over 1,000 digs, in 8th place in Cal Golden Bear history.
And how about a libero wearing the white shirt with 1,000 kills as well?
Very reminiscent of the Cougs with Penny Tusa.
Norville, nice dig out. Basham's going to pass to the set, and again, California blocks it. Schmidt and Ham again in front of Timmer. Another important side out for the Golden Bears. They're still trying to string some consecutive points together.
Yeah, Cal is getting some points, but not. They're not. Cal struggles giving up runs to their opponents.
Like a little run here, get some in bunches. Williams on the slide. Heavy hand to land the kill. Kalia Williams has her second kill of the match, and Washington State a 4-point advantage.
Just knocked Merkovich backwards on that very powerful spike.
You saw Kalia run past Jen Greeny. Greeny in her 11th season at Washington State, 178-152 career record. And, of course, part of the decorated teams in the early 2000s. And we'll have more on Jen Greeny later, the coaching connection with her father and how that led into basketball in Pullman as well.
Yes, it's a great story. Stick around for it.
California serve for Merkovich. 3-point Cougar lead in the opening set. And Merkovich off the tape for the ace. Any way you can get it.
No, definitely Merkovich. Aces were big for the Cougars also against Stanford. Penny Tusa had 3 of the 8 total against the Cardinal.
Merkovich right back to it. Timmer didn't get a touch, too high. And here's that run that we talked about Cal needing, doing it with Merkovich on the service line. And Merkovich didn't play here in Pullman last year when, because of COVID, the schedule was so different. There were hardly any fans here in the building, just some friends and family.
But now Merkovich making her presence felt immediately in her first time back in Pullman.
Pia Timmer putting an end to the California run to get served back to Washington State. With it, Katie Ryan comes back in along the front for WSU in their rotation. Hannah Pukas back in the serving spot. Grote. Yeah, Halasheva got a hand on it, and then it's wide for a Washington State point. Jen Greeny said, teams just have to stay away from Magda, and that's a great asset to have in the middle for Washington State.
I think that's a little bit easier said than done. She seems to be everywhere on the court.
They do a good job of mixing it. And this front line's really formidable for Washington State with Timmer, Yahalasheva, and Ryan. There it is, a block. Case in point, Yahalasheva and Ryan are there to put it away.
Very, very tall front line.
6'5", Katie Ryan, and 6'3", Magda Yahalasheva. That lands. Bears answer right back. And we'll see how Bella Bergmark can leave her mark on this match today.
They really need her to step up if they want a chance to upset the 22-ranked Cougars.
Mentioned Cal played some really close sets with Washington. Really only one runaway for the Huskies is Katie Ryan, again, putting it down for Washington State. Cougars trying to sprint to be the first to 15 here in the opening set. More precise passing, and the Cougars got Ryan one-on-one. Exactly what they wanted on the outside. This will be a free ball. Pukas, athletic set to Yahalasheva.
Pukas is just phenomenal at setting up her teammates to succeed. I mean, she is the quarterback of this team, and she is just setting them up beautifully. But there's
Jen Greeny's mentioned her communication with her hitters on the floor has really improved over her first 2 seasons in Pullman. Timmer, as it touched the tape, and Yahalasheva and Tusa were up to put away Bergmark's opportunity. Oh, excuse me, Bergmark slid it through the block.
It was very impressive. It tricked both of us there.
Nice kill by Bella Bergmark. That's already 4 for Bergmark in the opening set. Ryan trying to continue a great opening set. California a chance to save it, and they do. It'll go right back to Ryan. And this time gets the kill off the hands.
That's her 4th kill so far in this set.
Katie Ryan and Bella Bergmark, they've been the showstoppers in set number 1. Ryan, a former Idaho Gatorade Volleyball Player of the Year. The last stretch of Cougar home matches, she hit .563. Yahalasheva into the net on the service error. But the Cougars are trying to snap a little bit of a skid here at home. 3 straight match losses at home, 2 straight that have gone to 5 sets. This crowd's itching for a victory in Pullman.
No, they definitely are, and this crowd is phenomenal. I think it helps that this is the only volleyball-only facility in the Pac-12. It's a much more intimate building, I would say.
Penny Tusa getting a kill for Washington State. Bring it right on back.
Fans are quite loud here.
Jen Creaney would echo that. Cougars had their 2nd largest crowd of the season on Friday, as you see the Tusa kill from our net cam. Norville to serve for Washington State. That's right, only volleyball-only facility in the Pac-12, and Jen Greeny has said it is a real home court advantage. Grote out of the back, and the Cougars were into the net. Net violation leads to the bare point. It'll go to the freshman, Annalea Mader, out of Switzerland.
She's had a lot of under-19 awards for the Switzerland national team.
Yeah, she is well decorated for sure. Tusa, nice job by Grote to deflect it. Grote's going to get it back, but is blocked away. Kalia Williams led a bulk of the charge with Penny Tusa.
Kalia Williams, phenomenal all-around player.
Cougars set perfectly into that. Washington State starting to put some space in this set late.
Same thing that happened to Cal against University of Washington. Had the lead, kind of gave it up, and then UW pulled ahead.
Grote having to readjust. This time Williams is there with Pukas. And Kalia Williams playing inspired in the opening set. Another timeout for California as Sam Crossan will use his final of the opening set. Washington State with a 6-point lead in the opening set. Welcome back inside Bowler Gym. The 22nd ranked Cougars trying to rebound on their weekend. Jen Greeny, we talked to her this week about stats that her team's looking at in these huddles. One of them, Walker's side-out percentage. That's getting it back, and she said if they can be above 60, hold an opponent under 58, you got a chance to win. Cougars are doing that and then some today.
Oh, they're holding Cal to under to 23.1%, which is, if you're Cal's head coach, you will want to fix that immediately.
Washington State signing out 77% here in the opening set. And they put together a couple runs, including one off the last timeout, but California answers back with Lydia Grote. Needed that for the sophomore from Burbank, who was a thorn in the Cougars' side last year, but just returned to action last week after being injured. So she's really just kind of getting into the flow of this season. It's hard to believe to say that halfway through conference play.
No, I mean normally you get more cumulative in your out of conference games, not when in the dog days of interconference play.
Pia Timmer wide, trying to play that far side of the floor. Sarah Schrag is serving, the freshman from San Diego, a 3-time league champion in high school. 9 service aces this season for the freshman. Would love to pick one up here, provide a little boost. Pia Timmer adjusting the light float and finds the real estate for the point.
I like the mid-air adjustment. Looked like she was going to go up hard, but then just switched at the end to a light one. Threw off Cal's defense.
See the smiles for Timmer and Yahalasheva, 5-point Cougar lead, trying to close in on set number 1. Carly Basham, a Texas A&M transfer on the serve. Mia Hamm puts it away. Ellie Hamm puts it away. I might be getting into my soccer mindset. There's a lot of sports in Pullman today.
Oh, yes,
They've got volleyball in Pullman today. There's women's basketball coming up, and then soccer tonight. So it's a busy day on the Palouse.
Oh, I'm sure the students love going to as many sporting events as they can. Taking a break from classes, homework.
You talk about the dog days. You're getting in the dog days of the semester, and Jen Greeny mentioned that's been a difference this year as well. Last season, classes were online. Things kind of felt a little different. And she said this year, time management, it's come back to having to get used to that day-to-day grind.
As a student, I completely agree with Jen Greeny on that. It's not as easy going back from online to in-person.
Basham, nice up. Timmer have to get creative, and does. That was tough to earn a kill, but she was able to mash it off the side of Sam Tamoipiao. And the Cougars are just 3 points away from an opening set victory.
If you're Cal's coach, you're a little frustrated now with 7 attacking errors, and you're down 6. So that would be frustrating if I was Sam Crossan.
And then Bella Bergmark too high and angled it wide. Washington State. Sir Cal made it interesting in the early third of this opening set. Now the Cougars starting to run away with it. Pukas another good serve. It went over to Tamoipiao. Katie Ryan, who's had a great opening set. Denied. Timmer out to the back. See if Tamoipiao can get something done. Cougars were there, and they're there again. Pia Timmer, Magda Yahalasheva, as it's set point for Washington State in the first.
That front line was just phenomenal in that volley right there. You see Magda diving onto one knee to dig the ball up, and then you see the wall of Cougar defenders come up to slam the ball down.
So Hannah Pukas has a chance to serve set point for Washington State. They'll own at least 8 of them here in the first set. Tamoipiao, as Tusa had the dig. For Yahalasheva, and the light touch turns into 4 contacts on the Washington State side.
Yeah, I think she tried a little too light and didn't get it. A little more force behind that, and you might have won the set there. But it's okay. There's plenty more chances.
Just missed it off the set. Grote, who was a Pac-12 All-Freshman last year, serving for California. Bears need a big run here in the opening set.
Cal definitely has some talented players for that.
Magda Yahalasheva puts it away, and Washington State wins set number 1 in Pullman this afternoon. Cougars take it by 8 points, and they're up a set to none on this kill by Magda Yahalasheva. Back in Pullman, it is a 25-17 lead for Washington State. Cougar block showed up in the opening set, as did some big kills down the stretch. In Washington State, 5-2 the blocking advantage. And 15-8 in kills. They limited the errors. Cougars hitting above 300. And a pair of coaches here that Jen Greeny said there's a lot of really great coaches in the Pac-12. Jen Greeny working with her side over here. 11th season at Washington State. This job is hers for as long as she wants it. She's a Cougar legend, a great Cougar coaching staff, and they've built a heck of a program here in Pullman.
No, she has, definitely. And I think Cal's coach is doing a good job of rebuilding them. He's struggled. He had a lot of players opt out to focus on the beach volleyball side, so it's not as easy when your starters and your players you've been coaching go to do beach volleyball. COVID might have had an impact. last season was very tough, and I think he is building them in the right direction. It might take a couple of years, but the Cal Golden Bears have a good head coach to lead them.
Yeah, and we talked about this year just all of the challenges with having you just can't get the same lineup night in, night out, and you miss that continuity for your players, the ability to gel, mesh on the floor. Washington State, they've really had that between last year and this year. Obviously, Katie Ryan new to the mix, but the Cougars have had a lot of continuity in this program because of the ability to build it up that way. They've just got very comfortable on the floor.
No, I mean their whole lineup minus Katie Ryan is an upperclassman who've been playing on the team for multiple years. I do like the addition of the Texas A&M transfer. It's always big when you can get an SEC transfer.
And Jen Greeny said for this team in particularly, Carly Basham has provided a different energy. She said her team by nature is one of the more reserved, a quieter team that she's had in her time at Washington State. She said Carly Basham, the Cougar libero, brings the energy to this Cougar team, brings the noise, the volume, as Pia Timmer making a little noise to open the second set.
Saw her smile at Coach Jen Greeny. I think that's how the Cougars drew it up coming out of the break.
And Pia Timmer right down the side, 1-0 Washington State in the second. Hannah Pukas. Great serve by Pukas, and it's the first ace for Washington State. That dove out at the end. For Pukas on the season, that is another ace to add to her total this year. That now runs up to 7 for Hannah Pukas. Bella Bergmark, nice kill to answer.
Bella Bergmark instantly played at Marin Catholic in California. Interestingly enough, that is also where Lions quarterback Jared Goff, who went to Cal, played at.
Mm-hmm.
So Marin Catholic, potentially a Cal athletics pipeline?
Two pretty good ones there in Bergmark and Goff.
Oh, yes, definitely.
The serve long to give it back to Washington State. Service error hurts here in the second set. Pia Timmer will try to take the Cougars on a run. Jen Greeny's talked about how her serving's been coming on of late. Cougars tip it. Timmer keeps it alive. Basham needed a good ball to get it over and did. The setup for Bergmark and gets a second kill. She has both in the second set for Cal.
I mean, she's one of Cal's best players. They need her to play in a dominant fashion if they want this upset.
6 kills for Bergmark on 7 attacks with only 1 error, hitting a phenomenal 7-14 as we just get underway in the second set. Yahalasheva off of Bergmark. Magda Yahalasheva with her 4th kill.
Just a lot of force there, forcing it off of the hands of Bergmark. Not much you could do. Just hit the ball way too hard.
Yahalasheva will serve now. You talk about serving that's improved of late. Jen Greeny said definitely with Magda as well, getting some of that confidence back in. It's going to be a free ball back to the Cougars. Good opportunity for Penny Tusa, and it was blocked back to the Cougars.
Great job by this lone senior on this roster, 5th-year senior.
You see that come over to this side, and Bergmark there along with Mater to help send it away. California gets it back on the service error. I got tricked twice. Cougars had the kill from Penitusa. Service error for Yahalasheva sends it back to California. Bella Bergmark. Career high 16 kills on Friday against Washington, as we mentioned in the opening set. Katie Ryan, great swing out of the back.
Using all of her 6'5" height to get up there to hit that.
That was a really nice job by Ryan. See the tail end of the play. Julia Norville to serve. Norville, who has 15 aces on the season. Out of the back for Grote. Norville with the hands. Tusa is trying to get a second one in the second set. Quick turn, change of pace by Mater. Cougars recover. Tusa plays it to the back. Nifty shot by the senior.
I think Penny Tusa and Kalia Williams both play really well off of each other, both from Long Beach, California as well.
Penny now in the top 10 in sets played in Washington State history, 467 career sets. And Schmidt finds some real estate near the Cougar bench. Oh, no, excuse me, was wide, point Cougars.
You generally do not want to hit the opposing bench, not ideal.
Was just trying to work it in. Norville continue to serve for Washington State. Schmidt deflected back this time. They'll feed her again. Goes with the light touch. Norville the save. Free ball to California. Mater in a joust at the net with Tusa. Off the speakers, it comes back down. That's in play in Bullard Gym, and the Cougars score another to take a 6-point lead and a timeout for Sam Crossan. And that one hurts. Talk about home court advantage. You never know what's going to happen when it gets up there. But in Pullman, It counts for the point. We'll take a timeout. Cougars lead by 6. Back in Pullman, you see the Cougars send this over here. And off the joust, the reason the ball came straight back down, there's a set of speakers high above the net at center floor inside Bullard Gym. It went up, caught those on the California side, and shot right back down.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen a ball get stuck there and you just see players looking to see where it's going to go. Just ping pongs everywhere.
Julia Norville not cold off of the timeout. Basham with the dig. Pukas, the set for Williams. It rolled the tape. Grote having to adjust out of the back. Couldn't get a good swing on it. Cougars send Timmer. Oh, that rolls the tape, and Williams is to keep it up for the Cougars. Then tries to drop one. Merkovich is there. Schmidt, as we've got a good rally going here in the second set. Tusa. Merkovich trying to put it away in a net violation against California. The run continues for Washington State. Now a 7-point lead and a 5-0 scoring run in the second set.
Very similar to the first set, Washington State going on a run, then Cal proceeded to go on a run. But Cal is prone to giving up long and extended runs to their opposing team, probably due to the lack of continuity.
Julian Orville. This time, laying one in. Merkovich able to get to it to cover it up. Williams and Pukas send it back down with the block.
The defense today has been phenomenal for the Cougars.
Block advantage is now 7-2 for Washington State. 81% side out to 45 for California.
So doing what Jen Greeny thought they would need to win this, to have a good chance to win this match.
Out of the back, Grote able to tool Timmer. Lydia Grote picking up the kill. That is her third. But a little bit of a quieter start than California might have liked for Grote.
You know, you definitely need your star player coming off of, well, it could be due to the injury, coming off injury, still not totally 100% herself yet.
Williams trying to get around the block. Good job by California to avoid it. And now let's see if the Golden Bears can go on a run with their freshman Mater serving. Not so with the service error.
No, that was
momentum killer there for California.
No, you had some good luck with the previous kill going your way, but then boom. Service errors are going to, self-inflicted errors always hurt a team, especially with Cal, who has 12 attacking errors to the Cougs 6.
We're dealing with a Cougars side that's hitting .357 on the match today. California negatives. Tusa, an ace, and is now just 3 away from second all-time at Washington State. Now has 130, is looking for 133 for second all-time.
She is just climbing up the ladder boards in so many different statistical categories. 1,000 kills, just the aces you mentioned. She's just a phenomenal player in her tenure at the Cougs.
Puts her only 13 away from the program record. Pia Timmer at the light touch, Mater. Merkovich setting up Schmidt, and the Cougars block it away again.
That front line for the Cougars today just keeps doing what they want to this Cal. This offense is struggling.
Timmer and Williams there. Look like Kalia Williams got a bulk of the touch on it. All Washington State in set number 2. Cougars nearly saw the overpass. Washington State gets the point, 15-5. California trying to adjust and get help out of the back. It was a missed pass that set that up for WSU. The player you don't want stuck on the line for California, Penny Tusa.
No, she's been phenomenal there, but also Pia Timmer stepped up there as well. Julia Norville, there are plenty of players at WSU who can hit it, but Penny Tusa is a force there.
And Clea Williams makes it a 5-0 scoring run again for Washington State, forcing Sam Crossan into the timeout. You saw the missed pass, the attack out of the back for California, and the Cougars lead by 11. They're rolling in set number 2. Washington State, an 11-point lead. It's been the Cougars from the outset in this one today in Pullman. Weathered one California run, but of late, a 5-0 scoring run for the Cougars, their second such run of this second set, and it has WSU up by 11. So remind you that U.S. Bank is a proud sponsor of Washington State Athletics and the Cougar Coaches Show. Make sure to stop in at Zeppo's Thursdays at 6 for the Inside Scoop. U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. Penny Tusa out of the timeout. Nearly had another ace. Grote as it tipped the block and able to mash it through a couple Cougar blockers to put an end to the run.
Last game against Stanford, Washington State had multiple 5-point leads and had trouble closing out against Stanford, which allowed them to essentially come back. So I think for Coach Greeny, she would want to see the Cougs close out against Cal this set.
Off the tape, Norville. Good job to save it. Cougars a little disjointed, and then Grote tools Timmer.
I think we're seeing Grote get back some of her confidence, her ability, getting used to playing again after the injury.
5 kills, 5 airs, 15 attacks. They're really feeding Grote. Grote and Schmidt, they've combined for 32. California's 49 tries. Timmer was covered up behind by Mater. There's a joust. Pukas pushed it to California. Tamoy Piao, tip back. Grote blocked this time. Williams and Timmer.
I think some of Cal's struggles are they're only relying on Grote versus Washington State, who has 5 players hitting 500 or better for them this match. There's just more depth on the Cougars' favor.
It's players like Pukas, Yahalasheva, Tusa, Katie Ryan as well in there with the fantastic 5 kills on 7 attacks. Basham's serve. That brushed some tape as well. Tamoy Piao. It was a rolling block for the Cougars again, and this time Washington State gets the point out of it.
Cal is just making too many self-inflicted errors so far this game.
Well, it's hard to get through this block. 10 blocks now for Washington State, a 10-2 blocking advantage. That's where the Cougars have been pests for years under Jen Greeny, Burdette Greeny. They recruit a great front line. Norville trying to cover it up, but California finding a point.
I mean, the helping on the recruiting, it helps that both Burnett and Jen Greeny both went to WSU. Burnett, a former WSU pitcher. Greeny, obviously a former volleyball player.
They have Shannon Hunt, a teammate of Jen's at Washington State. This is a very crimson-blooded staff for WSU. And Washington State commits a net violation. It's been interesting talking about the European recruiting with Jen Greeny. She said some of it's just pure luck for Washington State. Talk about players like Yahalasheva who've been huge European ads, as well as Pia Timmer.
Yeah, there's a noticeable trend in volleyball teams at the collegiate level going international to recruit players. Even 5 or 6 years ago, the majority of Washington State's rosters are made up of Washington-based players.
And the Cougars, the block back for the point. Yeah, it's wide and far for Washington State, and Jen particularly impressed in their ability to get Pia Timmer, Magda Yahalasheva, who are from countries where going to college, it a lot of times is a free situation. You got great schools, great opportunities. You can play professionally there. But they wanted to come experience something different. The Cougars, glad they did in California. Another kill to hang in this, as it was Bella Bergmark with a 7th kill. She's been a huge bright spot. 7 on 8 attacks, hitting better than 700.
Yeah, they're one of the few bright spots here for Cal. I mean, Ellie Ham is also one of the bright spots, but only really had 3 attempts, so not a huge sample size to work with.
Kendall Jensen, as the Cougars check in. Argentina own.
Beautiful
Cougars.
setup by Pukas right there as well.
Yeah, right away get the point for Ryan. That was another nice set, and then Ryan adjusting in air to get it in there in front of Jensen. Nearly had a great up. Cougars have it doubled up in the second set. That's off Basham's hands. I don't think it was going to touch the block. California may have gotten away with one that would have sailed wide.
Happens to the best of them, and Cal can maybe use this to build on, get some more points. But if Cal you just take a 1 point at a time, you're down 9 points. It's just not ideal for them. They just go slow and score 1 point at a time.
Disa on the serve. Ung had the receive, and then Katie Ryan misses long. So here comes an opportunity for California to make a run with the Hawaiian on the service line. 15 service aces this year for Disa. Penny Tusa changing the pace and dropping a point in for Washington State.
A little finesse there, just completely messed with Cal. They were expecting it to go heavy, but just a light little tap.
Washington State will make another addition. Logan Golden, who's had limited action for Washington State this year, just the 14th set played for Golden, will be in to serve with the Cougars in control in set number 2. Golden nearly fired an ace. Tusa was looking for back-to-back kills. Schmidt with Pukas making the nice save off her right arm. California getting it back over to Washington State. Tusa still tipped. Great rally. Bergmark, 8 kills for Bella Bergmark, that time on the slide.
Bella Bergmark is really carrying this Cal offense today.
Maybe has eyes on trying to match that career high from Friday of 16 kills. Of course, had the benefit of 4 sets against Washington to get that done on Montlake a couple days ago. Bergmark serves, dumps one in on Ung, and then Kalia Williams picks side out back for the Cougars. 3 points from a set 2 victory.
Cougars still hitting as a team above 300.
Jen Greeny calling over Julia Norville to serve.
Norville had 5 aces in their loss to Western Kentucky in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that was a memorable individual performance for Norville. Cougars obviously wanted to see that go the other way in last year's postseason, which was different in that it was played in one site.
The
and
bubble.
that's off the Cougar touch for the point.
That Western Kentucky team was a very talented Western Kentucky team.
Yeah, they played well. Cougars got a little shell-shocked in that one. And Washington State this year, though, has an opportunity to make it a 16th overall NCAA tournament appearance, a 6th straight trip to the tournament if Washington State gets it done this year.
They've set themselves up for a great positioning for that. It just depends how the final 6 out of the 10 road games go.
And another off of the Cougar tip for a California point. And it's interesting, too, for Washington State that For the Cougars, there's only 14 Power 5 schools that have accomplished the feat of going to the NCAA tournament in 5 consecutive seasons, which Washington State's done from 2016 to 2020. WSU one of only 17 programs overall to have ever done that. Again, a miss on the attack. And points starting to mount here for California as the Cougars a little out of rhythm late in the second set.
Yeah, this happened again against Stanford, where they were struggled to close out, and they need to close out against this Cal Bears team.
See if they can get it back in action with Williams. Nice find, went around the block to drop it in to get the Cougars 2 points from the set.
Coach Jen Greeny mentioned that Kalia Williams is one of their more consistent offensive and defensive players, and that was very clear in that set.
Penny Tusa to serve. Right part of the rotation for the Cougars to try to put it away in set number 2. Tusa 1 ace today. As we mentioned, 3 off a second all-time at Washington State. And 2 away from second all-time at Washington State as Tusa fires her second ace of the match and gives the Cougars set point in set number 2.
That's her 5th ace in 2 matches.
She's feeling it right now. How about a 6th? Tried her best. It was a great serve. Basham had a touch to it for a moment. Washington State will have set point again, this time on the receive. California's Sarah Schrag will have the serving duties here, the freshman defensive specialist.
3-time league champion in high school.
Tusa with the hands on the receive. So it was dug out back. Tamoipiao denied by Williams and Pukas. Washington State's back out, getting ready for set number 3 after winning the first 2 sets. This one 25-17. And the Cougars have a chance to get back on the 3-set sweep train. It had been 4 consecutive for Washington State, all on the road against the Arizona and Oregon schools, before dropping a 5-set contest on Friday to Stanford.
No, they've been very good offensively and defensively. Obviously, Magda Halasheva winning Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week helps that as well. And then all around, other players contributing as well, building off of Magda's defensive success.
So Washington State now at closing in on potentially a win to cap the first half of conference play. It could be a 7-3 finish to the first half of conference play for Washington State if they can get it done. And it's going to be on the road for a bulk of the second half. The Cougars will play 6 of 10 away from home in the second half. See the Washington State reserves. Logan Golden got a little appearance in set number 2. As Jen Greeny looks over her team getting ready for set 3 in Pullman today. Glad to have all of you with us. Big thanks to our student-produced broadcast, a fantastic crew today as always. And there's the Pac-12 standings as they are right now. Washington State right in that picture.
I think it's impressive that Washington State, when they started off the season, opened 0-4, and then to find themselves back in the rankings after starting 25th, I believe. It's an impressive recovery by this Cougar team.
They've had some big wins. Beat 24th ranked and 6th ranked Washington on the same weekend. And then, of course, 13th ranked Oregon last week. Yahalasheva starts it off, dumping a block back down for the Cougars in set 3.
And there was that incredible 4th set in the University of Washington win, where it went almost to 2 sets in one set. It went to, this total amount of points scored in that was 132, which is tied for an NCAA record.
It was the overpass that Yahalasheva put away for WSU. California comes back with the kill for Sam Tamoipiao. Coming off her best match of the season, had 10 kills at Washington Friday, 10.5 points when it was all said and done, as she had a block assist as well. Mirkovic, as Timmer received the serve. Yahalasheva off a tip. California is going to send the free ball back. This time Timmer. California over the block, got a touch.
So this is the start. If you're Sam Cross and you want this to happen, you start off with the lead. You're now serving still. This is good. You want to start strong and put your pedal to the metal. Essentially, you can't give up any points here. Washington State has the advantage, up 2-0.
Really nice swing for Sydney Lilo-Maeva, who's into the match for the first time today. Lilo-Maeva again. Katie Ryan trying to answer for WSU. This is in the rafters in California for a second time today. Gets tooled by the lights at Buller.
Yeah, these rafters are definitely wearing some crimson gray jerseys today.
2-2 the score now in set number 3. Pia Timmer to serve for Washington State. Bergmark forces the overpass. Showed the set at first. Getting in to keep it high for Lilo-Maeva. And there's a touch. California. Good start to set number 3, taking the lead. And Sydney Lilo-Maeva, the junior from Orange, California, who just checked out for the new server, Kendall Jensen. Lilo-Maeva bringing a change of pace for California in set 3.
Well, she checked in, gave them the lead, and then checked out. She did her job.
Jensen on the serve. Tusa gets it right back for Washington State. A little seesaw to start the third set. Penny Tusa up to 7 kills. She's tied with Katie Ryan for the Washington State lead. Bella Bergmark leads all attackers with 8 kills on 10 tries today. Magda Yahalasheva. Nearly an ace. California does save it. Gets it right back to Katie Ryan for the kill. And Magda Yahalasheva gives the Cougars a point lead. Magda was an interesting story at the start of the season. She went to play right before the start of the year for her Czech national team. And I talked to Jen Greeny about the serving for Yahalasheva. She gets to it again, and she said part of it's the ball. International ball, a different size. It's trying to get that touch back. And Magda has found that groove as California, again, ties it at 4 in set 3.
It's good, just repetition, then I guess getting readjusted back to it. She's done a phenomenal job so far. So I think just practice makes perfect, as the adage goes.
Tara Disa for California, trying to get the Golden Bears back in front. Little collision on the pass, but Katie Ryan had a busy first set and is getting fed early in set 3 for Washington State. Now with 9 kills to draw even with Bella Bergmark.
Katie Ryan's swing sort of reminds me, she played center in high school. Obviously, she's 6'5", that makes sense. But her swing kind of reminds me of a center rejecting the shot. So you can see some of her center tendencies and basketball tendencies pop up while she's playing volleyball.
6'5", lefty from Rathdrum who wanted to stay close to home. Jen Greeny said that was the perfect combo, and Bella Bergmark takes the sole lead in kills again with her 10th.
It seems like when you recruit in Washington, you have to find those underrated gems who want to stay home, who have been overlooked by bigger programs in the Pac-12. And then these coaches so far, basketball, football, anything you want to say, they find great gems, and Jen Greeny's found a lot of them.
Burdette Greeny leads the recruiting of this Washington State team. He's a tireless recruiter for the Cougars. Basham playing it with the hands. Tusa. It comes on an overpass to Williams. Good couple plays by Disa to pick it out, and then Schmidt finds a spot cross floor.
Must not have liked what you said in the broadcast then, went right by your head.
And just inside, as you see the great replay there, Leah Schmidt. That is kill number 3 for Schmidt. 24 attack attempts. It's been a bit of a rough day for Schmidt, but converting there, and the Cougars come right back with Kalia Williams.
Kalia Williams with 6 blocks to lead the Cougs. Very impressive on the defensive end.
And a little frustration behind that, too, I think, just to get that point back for Washington State. Williams up to 6 kills. As you mentioned, has been in on 6 blocks. That's the leader for the Cougars today. Tusa, a service error, despite having 2 aces in the match today. And we continue to swing back and forth in set 3.
This is definitely the most competitive match set so far.
Sends the freshman setter, Analea Mater, back to the service line. We'll see if the back and forth continues. Nice pick out by Mater, but Williams takes care of the overpass. Able to sub out right away for the Basham serve. Leah Williams does not miss on those opportunities.
No, she is a very dominant serve. She has a lot of energy behind everyone respects. She goes all in on everyone.
Good serve by Basham. Great serve by Basham. And Yahalasheva sets it back down.
Wasn't the greatest pass by Cal, so Magda just said, nope, you can't do that here, and she just slammed it down.
All set up by the great serve that she sent at Teradisa. Carly Basham. And this is long. Cougars do not touch on that. And Washington State a 2-point advantage. Basham, who's from Louisville, Kentucky, was at Assumption High School, went 48-0 her final season, a 2018 high school national champion. They don't play a strict national championship game, but her high school awarded that based on the phenomenal 48-0 season. And Pia Timmer now gives the Cougars a little breathing room. Sam Crossan's going to take a timeout.
4-0 run.
As the Cougars taking that lead back, as you mentioned, on the 4-0 run, Walker. Cougars lead by 3 in set number 3. Trevor Williams alongside Walker Brooks. The rest of our fantastic crew in Pullman today. Washington State, they took 2 last year from California on the same weekend at home, trying to sweep the Bears here today and get back in rhythm. 22nd ranked Cougars lost one earlier on the weekend, but they've taken care of business so far today.
No, I think this Cougar team is very skilled and resilient at bouncing back after tough losses.
And Carly Basham with an ace right out of the timeout. She fooled the serve receive for California and placed it in a great spot.
No, it's a 6-0 run for the Cougars.
And she was jacked to get that out of the timeout. Grote, good answer for California. Was Pac-12 all-freshman last year, had a 22-kill weekend in total against WSU last season, and was 4th in the Pac-12 for kills by a freshman. She's one of those building blocks for this California program.
Exactly. I would say she's the, Katie Ryan would be a building block for us. She is definitely the building block for Cal.
That was off the lights and over to Washington State. The Cougars get the points. Look at the kill off of that. You can't use it to come over to the other side of the net. It's California. A lot of these heavy swings have landed and balls up in the rafters.
One of the home court advantages for the Cougs. They know it's there.
Pukas unable to dig that out. California, quick response to get it right back. Another nice left-handed swing by Sydney Lila-Maeva. Playing today for the first time since the 15th against Colorado.
No, she's playing really well despite not playing in a fairly decent amount of time.
California the block. Bergmark up there with Tamoy Piao. Here's California on a run in set 3. Not going away quietly. Merkovich the senior with the serve. Magda Yahalasheva gets it right back for Washington State. That's her 7th kill. Really spread out attack for Washington State when you look at the top 5 in kills for the Cougars. 4 with 7, 1 with 9.
No, it's just the whole offense has been dispersed evenly. It's a well-rounded team today.
Tusa, Williams, Timmer, Yahalasheva each have 7. Ryan with 9 kills to lead the way for the Cougars, who are hitting .367. Timmer, though, the service error.
I think Cal's offense is also struggling. They're only hitting .133, which is not ideal when you're going up against an offense that is as potent as the Cougars.
Big part of that has been the Cougar block, 12-3, the Washington State block advantage. Tusa. Basham, a little collision with Yahalasheva. Ryan trying to flick it to the wide side and missed. California within a point. Little pep in the step for Kendall Jensen heading back to the service line, and The Cougars are a little out of sorts there.
Yeah.
Another good serve by Jensen. Basham covers the overpass. Ryan, little miscommunication on the set. Didn't see it coming. Slide for Bergmark. Back over to the Cougars. Out of the back, Timmer, and a heavy swing to get Washington State the point back. You see Pukas and Ryan talking about the miscommunication earlier in that rally.
No, I liked how Pukas was very calm while she was explaining things. That's the Jen Greedy talked about her communication skills improving. Talking to the freshman who looked a little rattled or shaken, just calmly explaining we're all good. Still happen. Still Cougars still have the lead.
Pukas keeping it away from net. Free ball back. Bergmark on the slide. Pukas with the hands. Williams. Little flick with the right wrist. To Moipiao. That hit Ryan. Pukas stays with it. It's coming over to Tusa. Tusa was set up by Yahalasheva. Great dig. And then Ryan couldn't put it away with the left hand. Out of the back, Schmidt. Pukas the dig. Great play here. Can California put it away? Bergmark off the antenna, and the Cougars win the point.
Very long volley going back and forth. Cougars get out with the point, though.
That's one of those ones that you'll look back on as a big momentum rally. If California had moved it to 14-13 there, that could be a difference maker in this set.
At least mentally, that's totally different than being down 3, only being down 1.
The Cougars trying to expand that lead now. Ryan. Swing, California. Couldn't get in rhythm for a great set. This time it'll be cleaner for Tamoy Piao, but she's blocked. Ryan and Williams there to lead the way.
I mean, if you want someone taking that shot, it's definitely Tamoy Piao because she's coming off of her best match against the University of Washington with 10 kills and 10.5 points with a block assist.
Sam Crossan will use another timeout, his final of the third set. It has not been the Golden Bears' day. The Cougars looking for a sweep, 9 points away on Pac-12+. And Magda Yahalasheva, the junior from out of the Czech Republic, serves out of the break. Gets an overpass immediately, right on back to the Cougars. Tusa. Nice touch. Dug out by Tamoy Piao, and then a wide opportunity for Schmidt. It's continued to be a tough day for Leah Schmidt. 28 attack attempts, 7 errors, just 3 kills. She's in the negatives for California as the Cougars have taken away her opportunities.
Which is a little off because she was coming off her career high 10 kills against Utah on the 19th.
Yeah, Halasheva long on the serve. Basham will check in on receive for Washington State. Tara Deese on a serve for California. Cougars trying to go 7-3 in Pac-12 play through the first half of the conference standings. Williams needing a light touch. Merkovich with a nice dig, and then Schmidt puts it away. The Westlake, Ohio native has 146 kills on the season. Found nice space in between Basham and Timmer. A little miss on the receive for Pia Timmer. And California all of a sudden out of the timeout, getting a little life here, back within 2. Golden Bears need to fight here in set number 3.
Deshaw, the server for the Bears, has been very skilled as well with 15 service aces so far this season.
Adding to it there on that last one. Pukas, as it was an overpass turned kill. No, it came back over, excuse me, California. Basham went over, and it was blocked back down by Bella Bergmark, and I'm a little confused. I think the Washington State bench disagrees as well.
Yeah, Jen, yeah.
There could be a challenge coming here from Jen Greeny as she talks with her bench, and I'm not sure about that last play.
Well,
we'll see if we can get another look at that replay. Katie Ryan off the tip. Pukas with the hands. Nice save for Basham. Bergmark sliding over the middle to get the kill. Cal's even it up at 17. So let's take a look at that play again. Washington State's bench, they had some confusion as well about what was going to happen. We'll have a look at it here in just a second. Timmer out of the back. This is going to be tough for California. Probably a free ball coming back to the Cougars. Pukas sets it back for Ryan. Nice up by Cal. Ryan, first swing didn't go, but able to tip it back over.
The net provided a little assist there for the Cal Bears.
Well, forget about the odd point a few points back. Now we just play on Washington State by a point. Nice competitive third set brewing here in Pullman. Julian Orville to serve for the Cougars.
"15 aces on the season so far.
And another good serve there. California's Schmidt starting to heat up in the third set. Evens it back at 18.
Well, this is definitely when Cal needs her to heat up. With the potential time to take, it's 18-18. This is really anyone's set. It's been all Washington State the first two sets. Cal averaging 17 points a set. Now they've just surpassed their match high and average.
They've been able to even this up at 18. Bella Bergmark, the 6'2 middle blocker, redshirt junior. An important serve. Got a good one to Timmer. Tusa gets set up. California, some more great digs for the Golden Bears. Pukas touching it to the back corner. And Hannah Pukas, that was a nice play by Pukas to see the opportunity to change the pace and knew she had a wide open spot.
Pukas phenomenal this entire season with 48 kills on this season.
Has over 2,400 career assists. Honorable mention All-American from a year ago, Pukas. Penny Tusa, couple aces already today. Grote denied. Williams, as she has been today, helping spark this Cougar block, which now leads 14-3 in blocking this afternoon.
Williams has more blocks by herself than the entire Cal offense does. The Cal team does.
She's been phenomenal today for the Cougars. Played really well to go alongside 7 kills.
Magda also has more blocks than the Cal team by herself.
There's a lot for the Cougars. Again, Schmidt as it's tipped back. Twice denied. Is the third time a charm. Cougars just wide on the rolling block. (2019) California continuing to stick around in set number 3. If that angle was a little further to the floor, the Cougars were just inches away from a fantastic block cross net. It'll be on Mater to serve in this spot.
The freshman from Switzerland with tons of national team experience.
Timmer. One touch at the net. It comes back for Lila Maeva. Timmer. Blocked back, but it kept wide, and Washington State, the kill for Timmer, tooling the defense. Cougars are 4 points away, creeping up on a potential sweep today.
I'd like to see that. If you're Coach Green here, you want to see Coach Green. You want to see the Cougs finish and close the door, which they couldn't do against Stanford.
Basham. A service ace, Carly Basham. For Basham, her second ace. Drawing even with Penny Tusa on the day. 22-19 Cougars, Washington State with its 5th ace of the match. Basham once again. Right along the side. Schmidt going to get set up. Norville, nice dig out with the hands. Nice play by Timmer. Stretched out on the run. And knew she had Cal reeling out back.
Yeah, Deshaw dove, went all out, but just couldn't get the ball up.
The Cougars are now 2 points away. Sam Crossan, it looks like, is going to challenge on this last play.
Cougars also on a 3-0 scoring run to break up Cal's competitive back-and-forth set so far.
We'll get another look at this. So challenging the kill for Pia Timmer. California does not have any timeouts left in this third set.
I don't think Washington State has used a timeout this game.
Nope, they've been able to weather the momentum as they've gone today.
Once again, maybe a symptom of Cal not having a ton of all the injuries and continuity. It's tough to adapt on the fly.
California was looking for Washington State to be into the net there, and nothing on video to show that. So the Cougars are 2 points away from a sweep today. Carly Basham remains on the service line. Basham, who sparked some energy in this Cougar program, trying to help finish it on a Sunday, and Basham has her third ace. And it's match point for Washington State.
Basham, back-to-back, multiple service aces this set. Fantastic.
A chef's kiss on the third service ace. There's that spunk from Carly Basham. She wants to put it away for the Cougars now. Won the first two sets 25-17. Another good serve by Basham. Schmidt as Timmer covers underneath. Tusa out of the back and misfire. California fends off its first match point. Now the Cougars will have to do it on serve receive. See Basham communicating with her side. It'll be Surstrog for California.
The communication, I think, has been key this match for the Cougars.
They've been in rhythm there. Magda Yahalasheva puts it away for the win for Washington State. A sweep for the Cougars at Bowler Gym this weekend to cap the two-match homestand, and we're halfway through Pac-12 play. Washington State 7-3 in the conference now, and getting a little momentum heading into that second half of the season. Really good match today, Walker.
Oh, fantastic match. I think it was helped by the all-around offensive performance by Katie Ryan, Magda Halasheva, Penny Tusa, and then Kalia Williams. Just all-around solid performance by multiple players.
Pia Timmer, Katie Ryan, each with 10 kills for the Cougars. Washington State takes to the road. They've got UCLA and USC next weekend. You can find the first of those two on the Pac-12 Network as we thank you for being with us today on Pac-12 Plus. The Cougars sweep away the Golden Bears. And now, have a great rest of your Sunday. For Walker Brooks, the rest of our crew, this is Trevor Williams saying so long from Pullman, where the Cougars win it today, 3-0.